Blessing Cele. Undos.
Why are you dragging out my government name?
Do you always get happy when you see me? Do you always smile when you see me? Be honest, please be honest. This is a safe space.
No, it's never a safe place. That's what I hate about you YouTubers. It's never a safe space. In fact, this space is the unsafest space that you can ever be on because people get too comfortable around here.
What's wrong with YouTubers?
No, there's nothing wrong with YouTubers. It's just that I'm talking about the guests that normally go to YouTube shows.
Okay.
They forget that it's actually a broadcast and one that will live on the internet forever. So what you say there has ramifications and people actually believe that somehow they are chatting on Twitter or somewhere. I'm like, no.
But isn't that what people have been craving? And isn't that the whole reason why spaces like this have grown and why mainstream has kind of become lame, because it feels fake. It seems like even popular people would also like spaces where they feel comfortable, even though there are ramifications.
You see, if you are willing to toe the line, and not get too comfortable, yes, you can get comfortable here because you can drop the F-bomb, you can say whatever, you know what I'm saying. But just know that how it is on mainstream media, there are ramifications of what you say. And we've seen people get sued for things that they said on YouTube shows.
Of course.
Because they thought, I can just say whatever.
Come on, it's just online.
I can slander somebody. I'm like, no, actually, the judge won't care whether you were on Mzansi Magic or you were on the Penuel show.
Your feelings about honesty in the world. I was thinking about this yesterday, Uguti. We have demonized honesty. Whether it's in relationships, whether it's in families. It's the reason why we have family politics. Maybe human beings in themselves are craving spaces to be honest.
What is honesty for you?
Iqiniso.
Iqiniso kanjani?
Why are people not letting loose on mainstream? Why not? What about mainstream makes people not be fully honest? Because that's the whole reason people are here. It's like, but we're tired of Ubuntu being babego ngendlela ethize, and at least here undoze ngizombuza and mhlambe kuzoputsha, but at least ikuputsha iqiniso.
The thing is, people say they want the truth.
Yes.
But people actually don't want the truth. And even on social media, when people look at how people look at celebrities and famous people, that's why we've got phrases like never meet your hero. That phrase was built around the fact that you look at this person and you've seen qualities of this person that you actually love and you admire. But the minute you get the full picture, you don't like this person anymore. So people actually don't want honesty. It's like how the way that you view your mother. You view your mother hold on.
You're right.
You view your mother as this demigod.
Yeah.
Right? You view your father as this demigod that they brought you to the world and they took care of you. They've always advised you, they whatever. You don't want to hear the stories of their whole phases. Because that changes how you look at them. In as much as you want the truth, you don't want to know your mother like that. You don't want to know your father like that. Because they are this figure to you. So now you ask yourself, do people really want the truth?
Is that healthy?
It is healthy because we're not meant to know that much about each other. That is why I think
that doesn't sound healthy to me.
No, it is very healthy. We know way too much about each other right now. That is why I'm Twitter. And I'm like, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
Where are your friends? Where's your family? Go and talk about your problems. I'm venting. Go vent with your family. Go vent with your friends.
Sure.
We don't need to know that much about each other.
Because you're making me worry about social media, because this is the Kanye West dilemma, that Kanye has used social media as his therapy. And yes, the consequences sometimes are not too great. Where if you're feeling some type of way about a group of people, about your own wife, maybe she's pissing you off, your mother-in-law, go speak to someone. The world doesn't need to know.
Sis, look at how we just went and met at a good place. Like, this is where it should.
Where's the good place? Rhodes?
It doesn't get better. But anyway, we just don't need to know that much about each other. There's certain things. If somebody now is watching on YouTube and loves this show and loves you, they don't need to know certain things about you, because that takes them to another place where they now view you as human. That's the unfortunate thing about this. Okay, let me talk about myself on radio.
Yeah.
If you get on radio, I was speaking to Mo Flavor about this, and he said radio is such an unfair medium to the person that's actually presenting, because we are supposed to be everything that is human and everything that is not. Right now, I'm having a conversation with you. I can fluff my words.
Yeah.
I can make a mistake and Google if I'm trying to find the right information. Yeah. And I can also showcase my personality. But as a radio presenter, I'm supposed to deliver perfect links. I'm supposed to not make a mistake. Otherwise, I'm not professional. But at the same time, I'm supposed to showcase my personality. And that's the space that we play under. In as much as people want to get to know you, they want to get to know Penuel. There's little nuggets that you give them. You don't completely open the doors. Because the truth is that they actually don't want to know you like that.
I don't want to speak about myself, but I'm just wondering about all the personalities that have become or brought in a more human experience. Jamie Oliver in cooking. I don't know if it was Cele on why. Podcasters, that clearly there is a desire, even the behind the scenes, when they started blowing up, behind the scenes of a music video, of a movie, clearly people wanted to see something. But
Lunguza, that's the beautiful word. Ukulunguza. And a lot of people, what they do is that and then you turn around, and then there are things that happen in your life because you are human and in your personal space. And then you say, ngicela ningiphi privacy during this time. And people are like, no. Lengane le sayibona izalwa.
Yes.
Sayibona esikoleni. Just because sishonile sicela ukubona umncwabo.
That happened with Usomizi no Mohali.
It happened with everybody.
Ngicela privacy manje.
But you know what I'm saying? It happens. Now let's say you've got this reality show. You've brought people in, and then you have a kid on this reality show. Something happens to your child, and then they pass on. People want to see the funeral.
Of course.
But that part for you, that is not the part that you want to showcase. You are grieving. But because you've opened the door, people are entitled to it now. And they're saying, and like, I don't think that's something Yagu TV, because I'm grieving.
Who decides on the line for the collective and for the individual? And besides deciding the training, and I think after answering that, I want us to go to your training from a school perspective. But who draws that line of, okay, this is a bit too much. Okay, Kanye, you can say you weren't feeling well, but don't tell people that you weren't feeling well and you took drugs. Who decides on that line? And then who's supposed to train, especially people in the entertainment industry?
I'm going to jumble up umbuzo, which is very loaded. So I'm going to answer it from the back and then bring it forward. Let me tell you, I'm one of the privileged people in the entertainment space, and I'll tell you why. I had to spend so much time sitting and not being on the field.
Okay.
Bench.
Sure.
So the beauty of ukuhlala ebenchini is that you get to see people make mistakes.
The flop.
You get to see all the flops and you take notes. And you go the day coach ethi pe ngiyangena grounding. Sengiyazi ukuthi kunaleya defender udlala kanje.
Sure.
Sengiyazi ukuthi okay mengifika kwi midfield fanele ngenze njani. Mengifika epalini lo goalkeeper unenkinga yaka left so fanele ngikore ngaka right. Those are the abanye abantu, unfortunately uthi umuntu ena 18 and you are in it. And trying to navigate this monster ungaphakathi is heavy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I don't blame some of my colleagues when they make those mistakes. I go, okay, you made that mistake, you're gonna learn from it. But mina into yangisiza ukuthi I saw people make the mistake. Kunabantu that I got here that are no longer here,
Yeah.
You know, and that's the industry that we're in. Ngiyangibona some of the people banalento, that delusion of grandeur, ukuthi I'm here to stay. That's not guaranteed here.
It's not
guaranteed here.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I learned. Ngabona, actually, I'm not going to be on an Instagram live ending. People don't need to see where I live.
Okay.
It serves nothing for me unless I'm trying to prove to people that I'm balling out of control. But it serves nothing ukuthi invite abantu into my personal space. And as an African person, you know this as well. Ukuthi indlu yakho indlu yakho ila uthandazela khona. Indlu yakho ila you do so many things there that are sacred to you. People should not have that much access to it. Besides online, even as guests.
And we've made a mistake of doing that as human beings.
As human beings.
Letting even funny spirits that we can't control.
We can't control.
Sacred spaces.
Awumazi umuntu uletha ngani uhlala kule dining room. Uthi baba ngiza kuwena njengamanje ngiza ngithi. Ungenisa abantu you don't know what energy they're carrying with them. And then uxake ukuthi why izinto zakho zingahambi kahle. It's because of le moya evunguza kwakho.
Yeah.
So that for me izona izinto that I'm just like, no, I don't want people in my life like that. No, Maple, the broadcaster, know what I give them on social media. I'm at a party. That's it. So he parties sometimes. That's it.
Yeah. You are lucky because I know you personally, and I know you're intelligent.
Oh, thank you. You can be sweet sometimes.
No, we're on camera, so I kind of have to lie. I'm pretending to be a real broadcaster. If you wouldn't mind just speaking summary, your upbringing, your education, because as a broadcaster, as someone on TV, on radio, the assumption is obviously you went to the AFTRS and studied journalism and
I grew up in Mlazi. Went to a black primary school, then an Indian primary school. Then I went to a mixed, one of those, what they call Model C schools. Then I found my way at Rhodes, did economics there. I still don't know why. Because everybody that was around me was just like, when umuntu oka entertainment.
Yes.
When you was to grab people's attention and ungafathuzi ngolimi.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of just because you are entertaining, you need to now hone ulimi lakho. Because in the work that we do, what we say is captured by a lot of people.
Yes.
So you need to read. You need to make sure ukuthi ulimi lakho I'm trying to find the right word for it. But let me just say, your tongue needs to be silk at all times. You can't be found ufatuz.
Why do you think you didn't study entertainment-linked courses at tertiary?
You're getting deep. As black people, we don't have, for my generation, we didn't have that luxury. So when you got a chance yokuthi uye evarsity, it was about ukuthi uzokwazi ukuthi uthole umsebenzi uzokwazi ukusiza ekhaya. And entertainment was not that for me. So that's why I worked at an FMCG. And then it was when I was there, and I was like, at the end of the day, this is my life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do this. And ngayeka yonke into. The whole family was in uproar.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Everybody wants that job. And true, people want to get into that company. And I
remember the company. It was highly regarded.
It was highly.
Many people were trying to get in.
We're trying to get in, and I got in. And I had a good job. Head office. Angizange ngiqale somewhere regional. I was at head office, sitting with the people that are making decisions. CEO bengiyibuka kanje. Like mengihlezi edeskini lami bengibuka CEO there. Because it was an open
People need
job.
to understand this is a huge company.
It's a huge company.
But I also look at my
No. This is a global company. This is a global company that is making, if you are watching this right now and you open your pantry, you go to your bathroom, the products from this company are there.
Jeez.
And I was in that company and there was a call that for me changed everything. It was around 12:15 p.m. Ngihlezi kwangeni call about margarine stock somewhere in Johannesburg. There was some distribution channel that didn't get margarine. Ngabona wonke umuntu stressed. Ngabona wonke umuntu ejuluka ngempela ukuthi kuphela margarine, and I was just like, margarine is not my life.
Yeah.
Those are not my stresses. Ngistressa ngomargarine ukuthi kuno antu abangakwazi ukubhaka. Like, that's not me.
For the rest of your life, people will be like, there's the margarine guy.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be the margarine guy.
I'm not the margarine guy. I need to build a name for myself because I've got something to offer to the world. And that's exactly what I did. And I left.
How difficult was that psychologically? Because so many people are imprisoned by black tax expectations and they never take that leap of faith or that decision, which is so difficult. How difficult was that for you psychologically? And also the transition from the decision to actually saying, I think I now have an alternative career.
I think the decision would have been made for me. Let me be honest. Because I hated being at work.
Yeah.
I hated it. And it then went to my performance. Because I was doing the bare minimum. And yet, my colleagues were in it and they were thriving and they were being praised. And that's another thing that got me. I've never been a low IQ person. And what I was doing there is something that anybody with even an entry level qualification can do. I was not doing rocket science. There was, you understand, I was not flying a plane and I was just bad at it. And
I felt like that in banking, which is weird. I sat in banking and I was like, no, grade 10s can do this. It's ridiculous.
And I became bad at it to the point that my manager was just like, performance management? And I was just like, that's not the problem. The problem is I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm dragging my feet. You know, the best part of me was driving to work because I was blasting my music. That's the best part of my day. And then driving back from work.
Yeah.
And everything else I hated. Or in lunchtime because we had a very nice catering company. And for me, that's a problem when you're in a space like that. Right now, I'm in a space where today I woke up and I was coming here. I was smiling because I was going to do something that I love, which is being in front of a camera, which is sharing my opinion. And I'm not being paid to be here. I'm not. I'm not.
The gap between making the decision and actually having a career that can pay rent and buy groceries.
Penuel, the thing is, and if you want to go into entertainment, there are two types of people that go into entertainment. Kunabantu that go into entertainment and things pop off. And you win some competition and you pop off and things happen for you. Kube nabantu where you will work, uzokwazi, ubizwe kuma meeting. Kuthi no, we're trying to put together a show, ilambu le moto liyakhanya. Le moto le khanyelwa ilambu bayayifuna. Right? Ufike kuleyo meeting awunawo 10 rand we parking. And we are in this industry, they love meeting at grand places and what. Oh. Fine, they'll pay for the lunch and whatever. You don't have that $10 for parking. And you have to put up appearances because in this industry, how you look and how you come across is how you get treated. You could arrive at an audition and get the job, but because bakubonile ufika ngeteksi, bakubonile ukuthi you were not okay, instead of offering you that 10K per episode, bazokunika 5, but vele uzothatha. So you always trying to look the part. You're always trying to look your best because you can't be seen as something that can be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And Leo process can take up to 10 years. Uzama bra, uthi uyahlanganisa ungahlangani. You go to industry events and nobody sees you. Ubufile ukuthi abakuboni. And lapho you are trying to make the connections and you're trying to whatever. So it's hard and idinga inkani. You have to be stubborn. Mina kunabantu who are in the entertainment industry that have asked me what when unenkani. Because there have been so many doors that have been closed in your face. And no, we don't need you here.
How difficult was it for you to get into the FMCG company?
Easy.
Too easy.
Easy. I went.
And yet you didn't want to be there.
I didn't want to be there. It was easy. Literally, I went, they had a program. I went to that program. My personality sold me.
Yeah.
The qualification was there. They were just like, bam, you in. It was too easy.
And here you are taking the hard road.
I took the
But you're like, I want this no matter what.
Bro, do you know how hard this road is when your cheerleader, which is your mom, you know, we've got similar moms that are our cheerleaders.
Yeah.
When she says, psst, don't you want to maybe go back, dust off that certificate, you know? And they're not trying to break your spirit.
They're not.
They are trying to
protect.
They're being realistic. Because but mtanam, katu earn how much? kade uhamba ngani, kade sikubona ukuthi uyasebenza nani. Right now lento yakho oyenza ngiyiboni. And akayiboni ngempela. Lapho when you've got this thing in the horizon, you know exactly where you want to go. But a lot of people can't see it. And that's the difficult part.
Do you think people actually know how brilliant and talented you are currently? Because I know you personally, so I'm trying to figure out to you personally, with the potential you know you possess.
I think that Abantu are slowly waking up to what I can offer.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've always wanted in this industry, I was like, I'm gonna be me. I am going to offer this particular type, this brand of entertainer. And sometimes I find myself in spaces, umuntu angibize, ati, yeah, we just need some humor. I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me. You've got me wrong. You know, I'm a conversationalist.
Yes.
I sit and I have conversations, and it's entertaining, it is fun, it is informative.
And it's real.
And it's real. And I know my lane. You know, like I always look at people like Usizwe, yes. I look at people like Usizwe. Sizwe's brand of entertainment. Sizwe is brilliant. Usizwe will tell you, I read this in this book and what. This is what I know and whatever. You go into politics, Usizwe is there. He's that type of broadcaster. That's what you need to know about yourself. I'm not that. I'm not going to tell you, yeah, in 1969, if we look at the ANC conference,
that's not who you are.
Don't bring me there.
Yeah.
But bring me to talk about the human experience.
Yes.
That's where my intellect is rooted. And that's what people need to understand when they come into the entertainment space. Pick your niche, pick your lane, and stick to it and hone it and secure it. And you'll be fine.
And being yourself is more sustainable.
It is. It's definitely more sustainable because I don't have to pretend. Mina ngibizwe by a talk radio station, but we want you to host the politics. I go, no.
That's not me.
I'm not interested. It's not that I can't even grasp it. I'm just not interested. You know,
I probably want to carry through in your delivery.
You know, it's going to carry through because I'll over-research. Right now, we're talking about life issues. Yeah. I didn't have to read up to come here.
Yeah.
I'm now accessing compartments in my brain and I'm going, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're going, which is how I refer to Sizwe. You speak to Sizwe about the music business and you speak to him about politics. He's able to access. It's stored.
It's his.
It's his.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to know.
Taking a step back, the enjoying going to work because of the music and going back. Our first love, shared love, you and I, was Lauryn Hill.
Miseducation.
The miseducation of Lauryn Hill. How important has music been in your life? Keeping you going? I know even when you joined Ikaya and I started listening, again, in keeping true to who you are playing your music.
Yes, I am.
I don't even know if you guys have like a music selection person, but I was like, I know this is like, Uma player said,
no, I work with an amazing compiler. We're able, I started doing a show that was 9 to midnight on a Saturday. And so with that show, I had more autonomy when it comes to my music selection. So he got to know who I am through that because I'd go, give me that R&B song, give me that Kwaito song, give me that. So now that he's now doing it for my daytime show, literally I'd go into work because we have a meeting before, but I'd go into work with other songs that he put. I'd go like, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. Yeah, music for me, I realized that I was a lover of music when I realized that you can't keep me out of any genre. And that is special.
Yeah.
I always tell people like that, tell them, you are special. Yeah. Because kunabantu that go, I listen to piano and that's all they listen to, or I listen to hip hop and that's all they listen to. Or deep house, the worst about deep house. About deep house, abafuna ukulalela lutho. A new song can come out, they just want Utinu Roko. You know what I'm saying? So I found myself, Guti, you play Gwen Stefani, Sweet Escape. I'm there singing along. You play a deep house song. I know, like you play a deep house song. I'm just like, okay, this bangs. You take me to R&B. You take me to music that was released in the 60s and the 70s.
Gospel.
You take me to gospel, and I'm knowledgeable there. You take me to classical music. I listen to Babadi. I listen to, Mozart. I listen to all of that music. So it depends on which part of the day and how I'm feeling. You can find me listening to rock music. I'd listen to some Roxette, I'd listen to some disco music. And then I realized, this thing is actually my drug of choice.
Yeah.
That I was born to love it and enjoy it. And so, and it's so funny, Uguti, even my memories are attached to songs.
One of the things I admire about you, I admire a lot, by the way. I don't think we speak enough about people close to us that we admire in various ways. And I think whenever I get a chance, I try to. You spoke about the canteen where you worked. Hey, you got big, boy. You got big, very big. Wabanje ikwinya 142.
Ngawubona 142. Yebo le scale lesa sithi kanje angithi sigcina
120.
Yeah, so sasithi and then we are with digital, then digital will tell you 142 ngawubona 142. And that's when I actually said I need to change my bruh. Do you know that if you walk into an Edgar's, there's a section there in a corner called size up?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Because I've been there. Yeah. That's where you find size 44 pants.
Jeez.
46 pants. Do you know when ibhande lakho you don't have belts anymore? You've got the one that
enentambo
le
ngoba manje awazi ukuthi
uyihook
imbobo uyayishaya wena.
Imbobo uyayishaya.
Ngiclock imbobo.
Imbobo ngiclockile. The worst part for me was flying. Yabona that picking up your hand and asking for that belt extension. That's not cool. That's not nice. There's a lot of things that happen to you mentally when you gain weight. And I can speak about them because I've been there.
Yeah.
And I experienced that. Because everybody's sitting down, everybody fasten your seatbelt. And when Afanege ucela belt extension, and umem is not going to bring it ephethe kanje, uzofika ephethe kanje.
Yes, so that everyone can see
there you are, sir. And I live that.
You've always been high confidence, always. Similar, you and I, almost leaning on arrogance, but I think likable. Was your confidence ever affected during that phase?
Funny enough, you bring that. I am now a shadow of myself. Even my friends have called me out on it. See, when you are big, you want to walk into the room, and I'll speak for myself. You want to walk into the room and distract the room from your physical appearance. So your personality becomes big. That is why I've seen a lot of people who are big. They will walk into the room. Gents, how you doing? It's a deflection. Don't mind me. Watch my personality. I'm going to rock this crowd. I'm going to rock this room. And I was like that. And when I lost the weight and I didn't have to do that, I sort of I diminished. And I'm only trying to get myself back now. Because my friends would say, Awusafani, you were the life of the party. You would walk in and you would run the show. And now I don't mind disappearing in the corner.
But it was a coping mechanism.
I think it was. And I didn't know. I think it was. It was a coping mechanism. Uguti, don't watch me. Don't watch me. Listen to me. That's what I've got to offer. And now I really don't mind klala nabantu and sit in the corner and just be quiet.
How did you manage to lose the weight? And if you don't mind me asking, how much do you weigh now?
Start with how much do I weigh now? Because of lockdown, I think I'm sitting at, right now, I'm sitting at 85, 6.
Jeez. From 142.
Yes. And then how I lost the weight. You see, unlike labanye abantu abakutshela ukuthi, no, I worked out, what. I actually did.
Yeah.
No supplements, nothing. I went to the gym and I changed my lifestyle. And that's what a lot of people don't want to do. They want to go to the gym and they don't realize that you need to change your lifestyle. You need to change how you eat, what you drink, when you eat, when you don't eat, and it needs to become part of your life, especially if you've got a slow metabolism, because that's what I have. I mean, there are people who are skinnier than me that eat 3 times than I do. I just have a slow metabolism, and what I need to do is I need to watch when I eat. That's why my supper is at 3:30.
And you're done for the day?
And I'm done for the day until 11 o'clock the next day.
Awulambi?
No.
You've trained yourself?
Yeah, I've trained myself. That's when I eat. And sometimes I'll mix it up and then probably I'll eat supper at 6, because you don't want, if you intermittent fasting, you don't want your body to get used to that cycle. So I'll mix it up. But I know when I eat, when I don't eat. I know what I drink and I know what I don't drink.
Are people big guinea? I ask this because a lot of people are dealing with weight issues that were inherited. And to change, let's say, a poverty mindset that you inherited, you need to do something unique. And I'm trying to figure out if wavele wa papa or kulpala or
they big on my dad's side. There's a lot of, and it's not morbidly obese, like akekho umuntu ongakwazi ukuhamba or whatever, but it's big people. And bala, yabona weight yabo ihlala la. You know what I'm saying? And the ladies, izitho sigcwele, yabona. So there's that on my dad's side. And
when you visit them, makuhlangene imndeni kuyadliwa.
Inkomo thina ekhaya inkomo eyethu ezumndeni siyayiqeda. And sayithanda inyama.
And you guys probably celebrate that as a family. Something to celebrate.
And but in as much as siyiqeda, I've noticed something looking at my family. I've noticed there's a similar way in which we depart on my dad's side. And I was like, Jay, I'm not coming there. I was like, there's a similar way. Izinto zenzeka kuhlangana ushukela or iBP or you know what I'm saying? And I think it's lifestyle based. Yeah. And so ngathi and then I looked at my mom's side, nangu mana uthi unoshukela ngathi sugar is not my friend.
I'll rather choose a different exit.
I'd rather choose
this is not the exit I want.
This is not the exit that I want. So yeah, kunayo leonto. And you don't even have to inherit it from your family. See, inherit lento mesikhula. Indaba yokuthi why uphaka intaba yeplate muyolala.
Yes.
Like 8. Why are you eating so much rice and curry at 8 p.m.?
Or at 10?
At 10. You know what I'm saying?
Shy plate go 10.
Go 10 and then yolala. Your body stores all of that.
Yeah.
Because food is supposed to energize you, keep you moving. And so I saw kunalezo zinto that I needed to change. Indaba zokuthandana namadrinki, thandana noshukela. You need to change that, especially the older you get.
Especially the older you get.
Things slow down even more.
And food is yummy, eh?
I'm not a fan.
Anymore?
No, I'm a fan of cooking it for people. I honestly, and it's not a psychological thing because somebody's going to be watching right now. Oh, no, I generally I have to make food. Sometimes I need to eat. It's not something that is my go-to thing. If I know what is delicious and I know what I love, and sometimes I crave those things but I'm one of those people, there's a pill that you take where you eat twice a week. I take it. I'm one of those people.
I hear you. I've thought of things like that as well. But I love food. But knowing that Njobosho food is meant to be fuel, petrol just we've misunderstood, and because it's become an art and whatever. We connected very deeply at Rhodes. And I realized back then that you are very intelligent, very sensitive to human beings. You actually are an empath, in my opinion. I'm trying to figure out do you have people you speak to? You've built relationships with Ominenhle Dlamini or Akumzi. And it seems like the relationships were real, me knowing you. I don't know if you still speak to people, what your relationships with them were like. Is it because you guys were connecting on a deep level, or was it just industry friends? I know the Akumzi passing it hit you hard.
There's a thing that people do in this industry of association.
Yeah.
People do it in business. People do it everywhere.
Yeah.
If I'm associated with this person, then it can help my career.
Yeah.
And we see how those end.
Yeah.
Because there was never something deep and meaningful there. And maybe it has hindered my career growth, the fact that I'm not chilling with Obanbani and whatever. But that is because I actually want to be around people that I like.
Yeah.
I need you. Mina ngikutshela sangana the first time uthi hi. There's something where I'm like, I'm not gonna be the energy ayikho grand around you. And I need to be comfortable around you. I need to walk into a room, and immediately I let my guard down.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of the work that we do, my guard is always up. You never know who can start attacking you. You like, I could be sitting here right now, and then somebody just decides on social media, it's my day that day.
Yes.
And then they say whatever they want to say. So my guard is always up. And for the people that I'm close with, I need to be able to turn that off.
Yes.
And be vulnerable and just say, and if I want to cry around that person, I must feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And if I come across somebody where my body does not kind of give me that go ahead, I don't. And it's not like sesqabene. No. At an event. What do you do, Penuel? You're good. Whatever. Let's go to the bar and have a drink. We're cool.
Sure.
I just don't want you that close.
Yeah.
And all the time, I'm always right. Because I always see things later with, that's what you, I didn't know what it is. But I sensed something. And it wouldn't have happened to me. It would have happened to somebody else. The very first day, I was just not okay. Yeah, so all the people that you see me around are people that our relationships were not forged by the fact that we are in the entertainment industry. Our relationships were forged by the fact that we actually enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And you bring up Akumzi. I don't remember Akumzi and I building up the friendship. Akumzi met me, it was at Minnie's launch. And Akumzi told me that I'm his friend. That day, we went to the bar, we came back from the bar, and he's like, you and I are friends now. The next day, he was at my house.
Jeez.
So those are the type of relationships where it's easy, low maintenance. I don't want to sit and go, if you didn't call me for a week, I don't want to sit there and say, why didn't you call me? Is it because? Is it? Those kind of friendships. Yeah. I want to pick up the phone and go, hi, Bowena. And you go, yes, busy. Those are my friendships. The low maintenance, high vibrational stuff. That's my vibe.
One of the things I've said to politicians, when you look at the politicians that have been successful recently, Gayton McKenzie, Herman Mashaba, it looks like guys that didn't study politics and people that weren't in politics. They came in from somewhere else and they literally came in, from what we're seeing, to serve. And I feel like there's a chance that with you, it's particularly because you weren't trained in the industry and you also got to, I guess, the professional side of corporate. And you came with that, and to what you're saying about sitting on the bench, to study other people's mistakes.
I think, Penuel, I think what helped me was the fact that it is something that's within me. I don't have to force communication with people. I don't have to come across a certain way. These are the type of conversations that we would have if we were sitting in a lounge and there were no cameras and there were no lights. And we'd actually have these conversations. And it being you, it being part of who you are, makes it way easier when you then find yourself in that space, because all you then need to do is to just hone the skills of, okay, I need to know how to do a link. And that takes a while. I've struggled with that. How to deliver a link, how to know which camera to look at, how to man the desk at work, those kind of things. But
you were always good enough. You just needed the platform. You were always good enough.
I just needed to know the technical know-how.
Yeah.
And kunabantu that go into that space and you go, you want to be on, can you talk though? Can
Just buena.
just to win, can you talk? When you are with people at home, do they want to hear what you have to say? Because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
You know? And then if they do want to hear what you have to say, it's like singing. Umuntu ends up being a singer. It's because you sang at church once and everybody clapped and you were like, shit. Okay, I've got this.
Okay.
And then you started honing that skill. You didn't go to jazz lectures and get
For
a
the
music.
first time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't get that. And by the way, there's abantu who that were trained to sing.
That's why even today there's some international stars where I'm like, lo akaculi lo. Khona abanye ubezwa athi yabo lo mayivuka msho lo uvuka nje.
I always give people an example with Ubrenda Mtambo. Ubrenda Mtambo sings. Washes it, uyacula. Because that's what she loves that.
Yes.
She loves. You remember Dominic when we were into varsity?
Yes.
Dominic would be we're walking and it's something that he wants to do.
Yes.
So if he had gone on and didn't go to corporate, if he had gone on and became a musician, nobody would be shocked. They would go like, he was singing everywhere. That's what it is.
One of the deep things you said.
You're actually quite good at this, eh? You actually like a good. You're actually quite good at it. I'm like, you listen and then you thread questions. You know, it's not a Q&A type of thing. You in the conversation. Like, I'm impressed.
The decision to almost limit how big you can get because it's not you is something that I've thought about a lot. So I'm nowhere close to where you are and where you're probably going to end up. In the little time I've spent doing podcasts, having conversations, doing interviews, I found myself feeling funny. I found myself feeling that energy. And I said this maybe 10 years ago when I decided to go on a business journey. I would rather make a few million and work with people I am comfortable with than become a cold billionaire. That's me. And I'm like, if I meet the richest man in the world and we don't click, I don't need to speak to that person ever again. I want to be around people that make me happy and where I'm comfortable. And I've seen even within this industry, because there's an opportunity to interview everyone. Ubano, who's popping my piano? Hey, Ubano, Shisaya Pauline. No, I told Uban, and I'm like, I don't think that is me. And it's like, but those are the guys that are trending. And I'm like, do I want to be the trend chaser? Or do I want to actually be like, but what am I actually doing? And it's part of the reason why, even on this platform, I want to invite people that hopefully I've had conversations with before. Not with Safia for the first time saying, oh, where are you?
And you know you can pick that up, by the way.
You can pick it up.
You can pick it up. When somebody's interviewing somebody that they don't know and they've over-researched and they're trying to strike, because you need to have a rapport.
Yeah.
There needs to be that rapport. Like right now, I know when you're about to speak, before you speak, because I've spoken to you.
Yeah.
You know when I'm done speaking. So that's why you're not,
Sure.
It's things like that you need to hone with somebody before you interview them. And you can see them, you know? Anyway, back to your point about you saying you don't want to become a cold billionaire. You don't want to grow and experience things like that and whatever.
No, it's not about growing. It's not about growing. It's about the billionaires and the famous people back Funa. But what you were saying, the energy is off.
Yeah.
And it's like, but this guy will change your life. This is the guy. And you're like, I know. And it seems like a great opportunity.
What's your relationship with God?
Are we going to religion?
I said, what's your relationship?
Are we going to religion?
No, we're not. Just tell me what's your relationship with God and then I'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe the concept of God is a fictional concept in the way it has been peddled.
Yeah.
And I believe if there is a core and a source of our being and our existence, it lies within us. Okay. And we have the Alpha and the Omega exist within us, the heaven and the hell, the ability to create and to destroy is all within. And I have an issue with the idea that certain people have given us external gods that they have prescribed. Oh, God is angry with you. God. No, it should always be internal. So if there's a concept of God for me, it's an internal concept.
That's exactly, if you strip down and you take away and you actually read the text, that's exactly what it is. God is in me. God is in me and I'm made in the image of God, which means that I can achieve anything that I want if I set and I put my mind to it. But anyway, that's not where I wanted to go with that. I wanted to go with the fact that we have a very different relationship with God and our understanding of God. The one thing that I have with my understanding of God is that God has never forsaken me.
Yeah.
I've taken some steps back. I've taken a few knocks, but ngaze ngilale ngingadlile. Angikaze ngilale emnyango. So when it comes to lento ukuthi fanele usi-associate nobani, mina God will bring the right people to me and put them at my doorstep. Bahlale nami bathi nje, I'm here specifically for you. And I've met people like that in my life that were just like, I'm not trying to help the world. Nketha wena. How can we make this happen?
Do you believe in destiny?
I believe in it.
Like there's a reason why you study economics at Rhodes.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you worked at a multinational.
Yes.
There's a reason why you had to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Because you were being prepared for something more.
I believe in that. Completely. I believe, because when you look back, because there's a blessing in looking back, hey? Do you know a lot of people are actually so unhappy with where they are because they never look back.
Yeah.
I mean, I always look back and get, hey, bo, I'm being called for these things. I'm being considered in these things. These are the things that I remember in 2014 going, I wish that I get there.
Yeah.
And now that I'm there, because the one thing about entertainment and business and whatever, the post is always moving. That's the problem with this pitch.
Yeah.
The post is always moving. So you're never going to get to a point, I clock on a game.
True.
Because look, given up right now, Trevor Noah,
yes,
according to South African context, has clocked the game.
Yes.
No, the game carries on.
Boom.
There's another part of the game that now so the game is always moving. And if you look at the game by where you are, you will never be happy. Trust me, you're going to be the most unhappiest person in the entertainment industry. So for me, I always look back. Just ujeqeze. You know, you're not going to turn into a pillar of salt. Just look back. just look back, bruh, and say, ngisuke emlazi.
Yeah.
Single mother raised me. Bengilala e-dining room because kugcwele ekhaya. Namhlanje ngikutofopedic custom.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Imbungulu.
Imbungulu. You know what I'm saying? So you look back and you go, ngikhule kungenamoto ekhaya. Namhlanje ngikuphi. You know, it's those things. Ngikhule kudliwa ikabishi because uma ubethwele kanzima ezama ukuhlanganisa imali yokuthi umndeni inyama bengingabusani kudliwe noma namhlanje ngiyidla mengiyihalela. That's progress.
Uyayiduba.
Ngize ngiyayiduba ngithi, you know what, Veggie Mondays.
Yes.
You know,
I can afford all the meat in the world.
But you know what I'm saying? So those are the things that you look at.
That's gratitude and perspective.
You know, gratitude and perspective. Ubheke ukuthi nginendlini into encane kune internet la endlini. You remember internet.
Laptop. Umuntu wayene laptop evarsity kushuthi babe rich kubo. Uba ne laptop.
Abantu ababene dial up system, they were rich.
Hectic.
Right now sihlezi sinama fiber endlini. It's those things. Unless you are willing to look at your life like that, you are never going to be happy. Because right now I'm at a point where I look back and I go, this is not the grandest where I should be. It's not a mansion. There's no Rolls Royce parked outside. But damn, from ukugibela amabhasi awu-3 ngeskoleni to here. Damn.
Last topic. We could have shut it down there. It was so great. Last topic, your views on the Zulu nation. I remember when I first met you, you were so passionate about being Zulu. And I was like, and lately I've heard some sentiments from you that I agree with about the potential future of the Zulu nation, or let's just say Africans in general. What are your views on the Zulu nation, Zulu customs, the way we're living as Black South Africans rather? I think you said something crazy like so that the next generation.
I said that ukuthi sibambezelekile. We are being held back from our true potential. You see, when I look at the royal family in England, what they've done with we've got similar traditions. Not the colonization part. We didn't. Well, Well, we kind of did, but we didn't do it to their scale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you look at us and you look at our lineage and how our heritage is so strong and so rich. I feel that we got played when we were told to go and sit at the back of the class. Meanwhile, they didn't. They took their traditions and made them national traditions. And I'm not saying by this, let's impose our Zulu-ness on everybody. I'm just saying, Tina, as KwaZulu-Natal, we could have kept our monarchy at a grand scale, and we could have kept it evolving with society to a point where it would have been recognized by the rest of the world, like how they are recognized by the rest of the world. I feel that, as I said what I said on the show, Uguti, there are certain people that hold us back because when we can't evolve, certain things die. You need to, I don't care who says what, you need to look cool.
Look cool.
Look cool.
Okay.
You need to look, if you are saying, Guti, this is the Zulu monarchy, this is the Zulu nation, what. I need a 16-year-old scree to go, dog.
Damn.
That's
some dope shit.
That's
dog.
some dope shit. You know, that bangs.
Yeah.
I like what's happening there. And that's how you move with the times. And right now you sit with abantu abazothi and I'm like, that's part of society. We are getting urbanized. That's what's happening to us. We are getting urbanized. In as much as we can't lose who we are traditionally, indlela esivunula ngayo, izinto esizenzayo, amasiko ethu, but we are getting modernized. The same thing that happened in England. It was a changing society, and they sort of like kind of tried to change with it, even though they were rigid. They kind of tried to change with it, and that's why they're still part of mainstream society. And I feel that, as beautiful as we are as a nation, I feel like we're now sitting on a back burner. For me, I just think we could be more. That's what I believe.
Do you think Black South Africans need to almost move backwards to find their greatness? What I mean by that is going back to old customs and traditions that we used to have and being more strict with them.
I feel that we should go back as society to the fundamental of who we are. And I will say this in closing. Bad luck to you if you didn't want to close the show. The fundamental thing about us has always been that one concept, Ubuntu. That's the one thing that always made us great. We never tried to be... Because, Western values are based around violence. They are.
That is true.
They're based. It's a very violent society. It's a society of in order for somebody to be on top, somebody needs to be suffering. And that's not who we are as a people. But we've adopted those kind of things. That is why whenever I see Black people involving themselves in issues of like abortion.
Yeah.
When I see ourselves involving ourselves in issues,
killing each other over taxi routes,
and
political positions,
and trying to introduce a system of what you call this of oppression to marginalized groups, and I'm just like, if there's one thing that we shouldn't be talking about as Africans is oppression. No matter what the form is, we should not be holding up any book and using it to oppress another person. So whenever I sit and we have conversations around LGBTQIA plus issues, I'm always going, we don't have a horse in this race. The people that have a horse in this race, they know why this is a contested debate around them. They know why the issue of abortion is a contested thing around them. And it has to deal with population control. You know what I'm saying? We're not dying off in Africa. We are growing in terms of our population. But now we are using things that were put in place to oppress other people. You see when you look at Black Panther, have you seen the difference how they show Wakanda? Everybody living in harmony. everybody living in a state of abundance,
Yes.
everybody living in a thriving state, everybody surrounded by love.
Yes.
It might sound kumbaya to you, but fundamentally that's who we are. You go to a lokshini, that is why ukwazi uboleka ushukela ka next door, uboleke rice, uboleke, because that's who we are.
Ushawe ugogo wase next
Ushawe
door,
ugogo next door akushaye because it takes a village. Ingane zakhona ingane zase-roundini zikhuliswa yiwonke umuntu, usaba wonke umzali ose-roundini. That's who we are. And if you say let's go back to that, I'd love for us to go back to that. Let's just treat each other with Ubuntu and decency.
How do we go back?
We go back by unlocking your mind.
For an individual like myself, I might believe in Ubuntu, but what do I then do?
You practice it.
Myself,
yes,
in a society of wolves that are trying to eat me,
each one.
They're going to exploit me.
Can I tell something? That's why you say, grant me the serenity, Angit. When you're praying that grant me the serenity and the wisdom and all of those things. Akekho umuntu or what you call this, also take advantage of your kindness. If ukwazi ukubona ukuthi now I'm being taken for a ride here. It doesn't mean ukuthi just because you are firm, it means just because you are kind, it means that you are not stern and you're not firm. I am very kind to people. I'm kind to strangers, but don't come for me. Whatever you do, whatever, don't think this is a weakness. Because just because I choose not to use my teeth, it doesn't mean they pull them out. I can still bite.
You know, one of the videos I made was saying you can't exercise Ubuntu ninja. Because there are people that use that term to exploit others. Where's your humanity? And I'm like, you can only exercise humanity with another human being, because when you exercise it, they also mean to reciprocate.
No, they don't. That's the thing. It's not a barter system. This thing is a personal thing for you. You can choose to be the light in darkness. In fact, that's where light thrives.
Yes, I don't agree with you.
No, and a lot of people don't get it, and a lot of people don't believe in it, and I'm saying it's cool. But my belief, and this is what I'm saying, you can be the light in darkness. Where if ubon ukuthi okay nangu umuntu is taking useza ngokuthi ungithathele advantage, and you go, I see what you're doing, ngicela uyiyeke leyo nto because iyona into ezosixabanisa, and then you go back to your smile. Siyabazi futhi abantu abanjalo. You know that guy that's very kind, very nice, but just ungamzeli sideways. It doesn't mean that I stopped being kind. I stopped being umuntu. I just called out nonsense for that moment.
In my head, I believe Ubuntu works in a like-minded community, which means if I exercise Ubuntu, you need to exercise Ubuntu. If the next person doesn't practice it, I'm not harsh to him. I'm just civil, but I'm like, I will not discipline their children. I won't feed, because why did you hit my child? Why were you feeding my daughter? I will exercise with you because we share. And I feel with Black Africans in particular, part of the problem is that for a very long time, Black Africans kept Ubuntu in a space where the people around them didn't have it. And that's how I think it got messed up. Whereas when you look at some of these communities, the Jewish, the Muslims, etc., they exercise it within their communities because it's like we share it. And I think for me, who's visited some of these communities, I get accepted there because they can see that I have the same thing.
No, but the thing is, we create micro communities within each other, and then people join in. And when I say micro communities, if you choose, iqala lento with your circle of friends. Yazi abantu bazokubona bathi yazi ukuthini. uPenuel unabangani bakhe bawu8. Yazi I'd love to join lesa scheme.
Sure.
Ku healthy lab. Or athi omunye bafowethu, that's exactly what we need to start. You see, now niba 12. Sen create any group yabantu abawu6, abanye abawu8, abawu9. Sisonke ngithi sila in Joburg. So now there's a group of 10 people who just practice that. Just be a good guy, bruh. You know, look at how they roll. And that's how we need to roll as well. Look at how they support each other. Look at how they are kind to one another. And it's just a group. Angisho manje uthi thatha izinkwa uyoma kumalibongwe ufida abantu isopo. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just la ukhona, practice it. Kukhona umuntu oyibonayo. Kukhona ingane encane ezokubuka. Ithi yazi thina mengikhula ngifuna ukuba njengale bra. That you've changed something. You've changed. I mean, that's why I'm kind to someone, because I want them, when they meet somebody, to be kind to that person. And that's me changing the world. And then that person says, okay, yazi ngiphuma from a long line of abantu who are kind to each other. Let me be kind as well. That's how you change the world. People want to dismantle systems. You don't dismantle systems like that. You dismantle systems by being on the inside and just tweaking little things. The next thing you know, you've got a system. But now when you no.
Blessing Cele. I work with DJ Sbu, Ikamala Sbu Siso, and he always tells people, my mom named me Sbu Siso, which means a blessing, which reminds me to be a blessing unto others.
Yes.
When they didn't even go the long route, straight, but it was about blessing straight.
And they said that I'm also the one that brings joy.
Boom.
And by the way, I don't want anybody watching this to expect some perfect version of me. I have bad days and whatever. The only difference between me and other people is that I'm able, where I've flawed or I've faltered, actually, that was a bad day. You didn't deserve that. I am sorry. Or to try and rectify a situation. But it's not like I'm a saint walking on earth. I am not.
You're definitely not.
I am not at all.
He's not.
Yes, I'm just a person that wakes up and they choose.
Yeah.
Should things be presented to me? I choose kindness at all times. Sometimes I will choose kindness over being right. Sometimes I will choose kindness over, but I will choose it because I just want peace. I'm at the point in my life, bro, when I want peace. That's why I'm challenging at events sometimes, because I want a peaceful environment at all times, bro.
Blessing. Thank you so much for visiting us.
It was, I'm actually shocked that it was a pleasure. Bye.
Okay, it's time for you to leave. Get out of here.